We talk about love a lot. We chase it. We sing about it. We even settle for versions of it that look nothing like the real thing. But what does real love actually feel like? Not fake love. Not almost love. Not love that disappears when you're not useful anymore. I'm talking about love that feels like home. Not a hostage situation. Let's go deep. Before we jump into this powerful video, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and drop a comment down below. Every bit of support helps this video reach more people who need it. We're not just making videos, we're building something real, something that speaks to the heart. Your like, your comment, your subscription, it all matters. So, lock in, show love, and let's get into this video. Real love feels safe. Not perfect, not always easy, but safe. In real love, you don't flinch when they speak. You're not constantly anxious, wondering if you're enough. You're not walking on eggshells. You breathe easier. You rest easier. You can be fully you. No mask. If love feels like fear, if love feels like survival, it's not love. That's a wound looking for comfort. Real love feels seen. It's one thing to be liked. It's another thing to be known. Real love notices the way your voice shifts when you're overwhelmed. Real love remembers your dreams, even the ones you were too scared to chase. Real love looks at your scars and says, "You're still beautiful here." Real love listens. Real love watches. Real love learns you. If you always feel invisible in your relationship, you're not asking for too much. You're just asking the wrong person. Real love feels like peace, not chaos. Love isn't supposed to be a roller coaster every single day. It shouldn't leave you crying on the bathroom floor twice a week. Drama doesn't mean passion, and inconsistency isn't mystery. It's immaturity. Real love feels like warmth after a storm, stillness in a noisy world, stability when everything else is falling apart. It's calm, it's consistent, it's gentle. Love shouldn't drain your spirit just to prove it's real. Real love feels like growth. In real love, you don't stay stuck. You evolve. You rise. They want you to become your best self, not shrink to keep them comfortable. They push you, gently. They inspire you. They call out your greatness, not your insecurities. Love that keeps you small is love that fears your light. But real love wants you to shine. Real love feels like trust. You don't have to search their phone. You don't have to decode every word. You don't have to sit up at night wondering who else they're entertaining. In real love, you feel secure. You're not second-guessing everything. You're not begging for reassurance. Because real love is honest. It's faithful. It's rooted in truth, not confusion. If you constantly feel like a detective, you're not in love. You're in survival mode. Real love feels like effort, not excuses. You know what real love doesn't say? "That's just how I am." Or, "You're being too sensitive." Or, "You knew what it was." No, real love says, "I didn't know that hurt you. I'll do better. I want to understand you. Let's work through this." They try, not because they have to, but because they want to. Excuses keep relationships stuck. Effort moves them forward. Real love shows up. Real love feels like freedom, not control. Love doesn't handcuff you. It doesn't isolate you. It doesn't punish you for having your own thoughts, dreams, or voice. Real love says, "I love your independence. I trust your judgment. I want you to have space to grow." Control is fear dressed as love, but love rooted in God, it's free. It's respectful. It doesn't need chains to stay connected. Real love feels like purpose. When it's real, it's not just romantic. It's spiritual. You feel alignment. You feel like your connection is part of something bigger. You pray together, grow together, help each other walk in purpose. It's not just, "We look good together." It's, "We build together." You don't need to explain your soul every day. You don't have to fight to be believed. You're not exhausted from performing. You're loved, simply for being. You come home to peace. You laugh more. You cry less. You finally understand what God meant when He said, "It's not good for man to be alone." Because you're with someone, not just near them. You're home. Not a building, not a place, but a person that feels like grace. Let's talk to the person who's in a relationship, but constantly feels stretched. Constantly feels like they give and give, but barely receive. The person who wants to speak up, but stays quiet to keep the peace. Setting boundaries doesn't make you cold. It means you've finally chosen yourself. You're not wrong for needing space. You're not bad for needing balance. You're not selfish for saying, "I need time to think." You're honest. You're awake. You're finally loving from a place of truth. Where does the guilt even come from? Usually from being the peacemaker all your life, past relationships where your boundaries weren't respected, fear of being left if you say how you really feel, confusing selflessness with self-abandonment. But here's the truth. Guilt is not a sign you're wrong. It's a sign you're growing out of old patterns. It's a sign you're starting to value your voice. And your voice deserves to be heard with love. A boundary is not a wall. It's a door with a lock and a key. It doesn't say, "I'm shutting you out." It says, "I'm letting love in the right way." Boundaries are you saying, "This is how I need to be loved." You saying, "I'm not okay with being spoken to like that." You saying, "I need time for myself and that's okay." You saying, "I still love you, but I'm not responsible for your emotions." It's not controlling, it's clarity. It's not distance, it's dignity. Sometimes we give up too much in a relationship because we think love means surrendering everything. But you had a life before them. You had friends, dreams, goals. And a relationship is supposed to enhance that, not erase it. Boundaries remind you, you're still a full person outside of your partnership. God gave you purpose before you gave someone your heart. Protect that purpose. This is where many people freeze up. You think, "They'll think I don't care. They'll be upset. They'll leave." But here's how you say no with love. "I'd love to support you, but I need a moment to reset. I hear you, but I need some space to process. I care about you deeply, and I also need time to focus on my peace." Love isn't proven by how much you sacrifice. It's proven by how honest you can be, even when it's hard. When you first set boundaries, people might resist, especially if they were used to having full access to your energy. That doesn't mean you're wrong. It means the dynamic is adjusting. They might get defensive, accuse you of changing, say you're being distant, guilt trip you. But your job isn't to babysit someone's discomfort. It's to stay aligned with your truth. God didn't call you to be a people pleaser. He called you to walk in peace, and peace requires structure. When the guilt hits, when they start reacting, remember, you're not trying to hurt them. You're trying to protect your soul. You're not rejecting love. You're refusing dysfunction. You're not controlling the relationship. You're honoring your worth. Boundaries are acts of love. They say, "I love you enough to be honest. I love myself enough to not betray my needs. I love God enough to not walk in confusion." Many people wait until they're exhausted, until they're yelling, until they feel resentment boiling over. But boundaries are better set early and calmly. Practice. "Hey, can we have a weekly check-in? I get overwhelmed when I don't have alone time. Can we build that in? Let's talk about how we argue. I want us to be better." Waiting until it's toxic means your voice will come out in anger, not love. Say what you mean now, not later when you're broken. Boundaries aren't a one-time conversation. They're part of your rhythm. It's how you live. It's how you love. It's how you stay you in any relationship. Normalize it. "I'll be off my phone after 9 p.m. It helps me sleep and recharge." I don't feel comfortable being joked about like that. Let's both keep time for our individual goals too. Boundaries work best when they're built into how you relate, not just what you say when things get bad. Sometimes we think spiritual love means always bending, always turning the other cheek, always enduring discomfort silently. But God also said, love is patient, not self-erasing. Love is kind, not manipulative. Love protects, and that includes protecting your own heart. You can be godly and direct. You can be kind and firm. You can love someone fully and still say, I need this to feel safe. Don't shrink your spirit for fear of losing someone, because who God has for you will respect your boundaries, not resist them. This is seeing unlimited greatness, and this is your reminder. Boundaries are not a threat. They're a blessing. They create space for real communication. They protect your energy. They guard your spirit. They allow you to love without losing yourself. So if you're in a relationship right now, and you feel like you're fading, start here. Speak with love. Stand with truth. Protect your peace. Honor your growth. And remember, if you feel guilty for setting a boundary, it probably means it's a boundary you really needed. You're not pushing love away. You're inviting in real love. The kind that honors who you are, not just what you give. And that's greatness. If you'd like to support the channel and help us keep pushing forward, there are links in the description where you can donate. Every contribution helps us reach more people, do more good, and keep this mission alive. There's also a store down below where you can grab something for yourself, or even better, a gift for someone you care about. It's a simple way to spread love and let someone know they matter. We're all just trying to grow, to become better, to rise above the noise and step into who we're really meant to be. And I truly believe change is possible, the kind of change that creates a ripple effect and helps others see the beauty still left in this world. This channel is about real growth, real transformation, and I'm here to give you a front row seat to what that looks like. Raw, honest, and grounded in purpose. God is within all of us, and my goal is simple: to reflect that light as clearly and powerfully as I can, for you and for the world around us.